It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tyrone Lowe. This is the show called The Legends, and I'm your host. I want to thank everybody all over the world that actually shows me love and, show me love. And I thank you guys for the subscriptions and the tune ins and all the good things that y'all give me. Thank you. In the House of the Legends. Now, I've met her quite a few years ago when I first came to WHCR. And I was amazed because everybody that when I came there, everybody that actually applied themselves there was associated with WHCR. And I've been there periodically to do some things, and I actually hang out with some people. And I did some mixtapes there. I think I sent a mixtape there one time as well. Well, I've done some shows there, so you can put it like that. But in the House of the Legends, I give you Tina Dixon. What's going on, girl?
Hey, how are you?
Quite well. You know, I've known you for a while. We've been off and on, but every time I came up to WHCR, you was always there.
It's my
So we're
job.
gonna take it back to like your childhood and tell the people about how you actually grew up, and then we're gonna take it currently into how you got into radio and things of that
Ooh.
nature.
Okay, so I was a little girl born in the projects, Hammer houses to be exact, out in Rockaway Beach, and I don't know, music has always been a part of my life. I sang in the choir. I was an usher. I was the praise and worship leader. Um, I don't know, just I was in choirs in school. I attended Talented Unlimited High School where I sung in all city chorus. And I don't know, just music has always been a part of my life. So yeah, I was a fun kid. If we were poor, we didn't know we were poor.
Wow, that's incredible.
you know, it's only now when I look back, I'm like, we was poor.
Well, hey,
you know,
it's good to know that the atmospheric conditions was quite spiritual to the point
yeah,
where you didn't acknowledge that those factors.
I didn't
You know
know.
what I'm saying? And that's a good thing
It
because
was
when you get to grow up now, you get to really appreciate. You know,
Absolutely. Like I just know that every time the ice cream truck came and we wanted ice cream, for the most part, you can get $1 or two to go get ice cream. Where everybody didn't have that. And maybe when they didn't have it, they was like, well, no, you didn't do so and so, so no, you can't get no ice cream. But
right, right,
like we really didn't want for anything. We had what everybody else had and then some. So
okay.
I was blessed. I'm still
So,
blessed.
how was your relationship with your mom and dad?
Awesome. Well, they're both deceased. My dad
Okay,
passed 2020.
right,
And actually my mom passed February 1st of 2013, and her passing had a lot to do with the reason why I went to Ibiza that year.
okay,
It had a lot to do with it. So but we were great. Growing up, I guess in my teen years, me and my mom weren't that close. But then once I became an adult, we were almost inseparable.
right,
And my dad too, like
okay.
almost inseparable. So yeah, I
So,
was the firstborn, so I was a ball.
right. Did your parents have any musical backgrounds?
Um, they did sort of. My grandfather grew up in My grandfather had a band back when my parents were young, and he also had a fruit stand somewhere in Harlem, and they had some marching band, and I just remember them telling stories of marching in the marching band through, in different parades and whatnot. So that part, yes. My mom, I think she was an undercover DJ. I swear. We never had, I swear, we never had a regular stereo system. It always had all of these different components.
Okay.
And you remember those old grade disco speakers?
Oh yeah. Oh
That
yeah,
those
definitely.
are the speakers that we had.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
That's what we had. And I would get in trouble. She always knew which one of her children's. Oh Lord, look at that picture. She always knew which one of her children messed with her stereo. Like I always got busted because
Okay.
I'm a bass head. I want to hear heavy bass. I want to
You want to hear
feel it
some
in my
fidelity.
chest.
I hear
So
you.
I would always inch it over, and I forget to put it back. So when she come in, she know, Tina, didn't I tell you to don't touch my stereo? I'm like, I ain't touch it.
Mhm.
But yeah, I figured out. We talked about that in my adulthood, and she said I knew it was you because you always turn the bass up too high.
You like to hear the thump.
I never knew how she knew. Like, how does she know
Mm.
it's me? She knew.
So let's move it on. Let's talk about radio and how did you actually get involved with that to the point where, you just started doing things of that nature.
I think radio was a manifestation before I understood manifesting.
Okay.
Um, it was something I always wanted to do. I was always watching it in terms of, when you see it in a magazine, I'm always
Right.
listening and I'm always in the mirror with a brush, you know. This is Tina Dixon, and you're listening to Tina's State of Mind. So,
Wow.
I made a few mixtapes, how we did on cassette, where I'm playing the songs and telling you about, like I was a radio personality in my room and in my bathroom. And one weekend, I I used to, when I worked in Manhattan, we took the express bus from Far Rockaway into Manhattan. And one of the young ladies' daughter was getting married. And I also sing. So from time to time, they would have me singing on the bus. And she was like, Tina, would you please sing at my daughter's wedding? I really want you to sing at the wedding.
Okay.
So I sang at the wedding. And the day of the wedding, the organist was a radio personality I know now as Brother Bill. At
Okay.
the time, he was just introduced as Brother Bill. I sang, he played, we did the wedding. Neither one of us wanted to go to the reception. And he had said, well, hey, if you want to come up to Harlem, I'll bring you back to Rockaway, but come and, one of the ladies from my station is celebrating her anniversary. And I was
Right.
like, oh, cool. So I went along, met her and a few other personalities, and that was really cool. And then, you know, along the ride, from Far Rockaway to Harlem, we were talking about radio and how I always wanted to do it and check it out. So he says, well, I do a show on Tuesday night. It's 2 a.m. to 5 a.m., but you're welcome to come through and just, hang out, check it out. And I'm like, 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. I got to go to work in the morning.
I
Who
hear
I'm
that.
listening at 2 a.m. in the morning?
Right.
So I'd say about a month after that, I went.
Hmm.
And I thought it was so cool, seeing the buttons and just being in this room. And I went again the second time, and he says, listen, just play some music. I need to go and edit, this interview real quick that I want to put on. So I'm like, okay. So I'm playing music, and he's like, when he came back, he was like, well, did you tell the people what they heard? I was like, you ain't say do that. No, I just play music. So that next hour, I did it, and came back the following week. He had me do it again, and people were calling in, and I was like, wow, there's people up at 2 in the morning. Well, I stopped going for at least 2 weeks, and he called me. He was like, when are you coming back? Because people think I fired you. I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, they're calling like, where's Tina? Oh, she has a voice like an angel. Oh, where is she? I love the music she's playing.
Wow.
And I'm like,
Amazing. Amazing.
and
Okay.
and that was my introduction in the radio. I started doing this show, and to the point where he stopped coming in and I was
Mm.
holding it down. And then when he got sick, he had another spot on Thursday morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. So now I'm doing Tuesdays and Thursdays because he was out sick.
Right.
So it was just a lot of fun. And I'm kind of one of those people that I'm kind of techie, sort
I
of,
know, I know, I know the
you
feeling
know.
because I'm the same
So
way.
yeah, so I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do an interview, but I gotta edit it. I'm gonna teach myself how to edit.
Right,
And I did a couple events and got dropped. So now I taught myself how to edit. And then I just basically taught myself how to use the equipment in the
right,
station. And we're a small staff. At the time, it was just my boss then, Angela Harden,
mhm.
and
And what
it,
station was this, Tina?
this was WHCR.
Okay,
WHCR 90.3 FM, the voice of Harlem. Yes. So my boss had to be out a couple of times, and she would
hmm,
ask me, would you come in? Somebody needs to be here, man the phones, if anybody comes in, blah, blah, blah. And I
right,
did that, and I was just helping out because I had got laid off from my job. My job closed. I had the free time. So I was like, okay, I got to do my resume anyway, so it was pretty cool. And she kept saying, as soon as I get some money, I'm paying you, I'm hiring you. As soon as I get some money. Well, she got some money. I got a job. And about 6 years after that, they finally gave me a title. So now I got a job with benefits, and it's been smooth sailing ever since.
wow. How long you been at WHCR?
This year is 2025. I've been there at least 23 years.
Wow, okay,
It's been 20
and that's
23
cool.
on the cuff of 24 years.
Okay, I want to shout out to Dr. D.
Yes. No, don't shout him out.
No, why not?
I
That's my boy, man. Come on now.
love Dr. D.
you
Oh
know,
man, this is
um,
recorded. People gonna hear that.
and there was actually some other people that was there before, but they're not there anymore
Hmm.
and stuff. When I was actually coming up there, I remember one night where you was actually doing a host of DJs, and somebody bailed out on you, and yeah,
Oh,
and you
that.
called me up and asked Ty, and you put it on there that you needed somebody to fill in the slot,
Oh, okay.
and I think I did it that night. You
Oh,
remember?
cool, cool,
and
cool.
stuff. We're gonna talk about women of the decks.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Now that was something that you did that was that was very different at the
yeah,
time because you incorporated all these ladies that were DJs.
yeah.
Um,
So,
Celeste K, Patty Kane.
mhm.
Um, all these ladies were actually incorporated. So what made you actually start that trend?
Wow. So I felt that there was a need for ladies to network, for ladies to work together, whether, collaboration, like just come together, period. Because so many of us have been faced with just dealing with the male ego, point blank in the period. um,
Right.
in every industry, it's like the women are the underdogs, and I really feel like if they're not giving you a seat at the table, then you make your own damn table.
I hear you on that. I hear you
So
on that.
I asked um I asked Patty Kane and Select Miss K to help spearhead the Lady DJ division.
Mhm.
And the Women on Decks is the first Lady DJ summit that we had put together. And it was phenomenal. It was, oh my God, there's really no words to explain. You would think being in a room with 40, 50 women, you know,
Right.
there would be cattiness, or somebody's not going to get along, or somebody's going to, there's going to be some kind of nitpicking, or you just think it's going to be drama because it's a bunch of women. There were no drama. There was no drama. We laughed, we cried. It was very, very spiritual. Women were free to share their hearts. Like, we created a safe space for women to share their heart, challenges, whatever the case may be, and be solution driven, not just coming boohoo, woe is me, you know, and that's it. But it was really a space for women to unite
Right.
and collaborate. Extremely proud of what has come out of it, because many of the ladies have either formed their own thing, because Women on Decks was the actual name of the summit, and
Right.
then Patty Kane and Selectress went on to actually make that an organization. So that was cool. And then I saw other DJs collaborating with each other and doing events and working on projects together. I'm just blown away by the whole thing. I am.
Right. Okay.
And I'm looking forward to doing more of it. So from that though, I formed the Lady DJ Alliance, along with DJ Reds out of Jersey, Exit 5. Uh,
Okay.
we're working on a couple of things. We have been doing mostly a lot of traveling and going to a lot of conferences and meeting people and trying to set some things up. I want to say this year, 3 years now, we did a Lady DJ session at DJ Expo. So that was amazing. That was
Okay.
amazing. It
So
was
what we're
amazing.
gonna do is we're gonna take a little break for station identification, and we'll be right back.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
We got some fun people in the house tonight.
This is our house.
And we're back. My name is Tyrone Lowe. The show is called The Legends, and in the house of the legends, I have Tina Dixon. So we're going to talk about some things with you because you're an interesting woman. I mean, to put yourself in a position where to be a techie
Yeah.
and actually put things together to the point where they're futuristic, and being as flamboyant as you are, you're always inventing things and things of that nature. I've actually um attended some of your things you had online where you actually incorporated people and you had people come online and talk about certain things. And the most important thing that you really talked about, from my point of view, was the unification process of all of us getting together and not being integrated because he's a DJ, she's a DJ. Let's get together. So tell the viewers about that.
It just makes sense. Okay, so my motivation for uniting DJs stem from years of going to WMC. It just seemed like every year we went to WMC, um, I always found myself in this circle of DJs who, and I don't want to say they're whining because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but it just seems like every year that we went, um, there was always this discussion of, this DJ and they don't put nobody on, and this one and they don't let nobody, and I'm like, okay, let's work together. Like, okay, first of all, if it's theirs, they can. It's up to them to say if they want to put somebody else on or not. Especially if they work hard to get it. How
Right.
about you work hard to build something as well?
Hmm.
Oh, how about we work together and we can build something as well?
Most
So
definitely, yes.
the idea of Ibiza was, oh my God, she's gonna kill me. Luna. Luna was at one of the things, and she was like, "Oh, you should come to Ibiza. I have a large house, and we can do something at the house." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, we should do that." I didn't think it was honestly possible, but I was like, again, not fully understanding manifestation,
Right.
um, but I kept speaking it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Um, but it just all of it just stemmed from going to WMC and hearing people whining, and I'm solution driven. If you have a problem and you call me with the problem, I'm assuming you calling me because not only you want to vent, but you're looking for a solution.
Right.
And I'm going to try to help you with that, because I felt if you call me, then you want my opinion. So I'm going to try to help you out.
That's right. I hear you.
So I just got tired of everywhere I went hearing the same, you know, this one is here and they don't never put nobody on, but don't worry about it. If they work hard for that, they don't have to.
Right. Right.
Now, what have you done? How have you been of assistance? Like, what are you going to bring to that person's table that's going to enhance experience mutually, not only just for them, but for you as well? Like, what are you doing? And it was crickets. So I said, okay, we need to do something where DJs are getting the information that they need to face whatever the challenge is. So I think the thing that you attended online was one of our virtual DJ meet and greets where
Yeah, it
we
was a
would,
Zoom meeting, actually. Yeah.
yeah, where we would have a guest DJ, or not even a guest DJ because they're not all DJs, but we would have a guest. Like we had the woman from the insurance. Oh my God, I can't think of the name of it. But it's an insurance company, and we had her come on. And actually, at the studio at WHCR, she came in. We had another young man. I cannot remember his names. Please forgive me, but he talked about um, doing more with your music than just playing music. Like there's room for you to make money in other areas, like commercials, like video games, things of that nature, where you can make money making songs and music for these different entities. Like there's
Right.
music there. So basically, we just try to provide information and resources to help you take what you do as a DJ to the next level, whatever that may be.
Right.
So, and we're doing the same thing for the ladies with the Lady DJ Alliance. We're actually in the process, I'm excited, of planning a Lady DJ retreat, and probably in 2026. I wanted to do it this year, but a few other things came up, got to deal with first. So we're looking to do that for next year, and I'm excited about it.
Hey, Tina, I always ask my guests this questions because it's very informative. And, before I even asked that, I like the way that you actually said that because development of marketing strategies,
Mhm.
which is very important, in any type of aspect or any type of content that you really want to get into. And that's what I get from you. And I love that.
Oh, thank you.
Everybody, y'all should get into that because, hey, God made more than one thing out here,
You know what
so
I tell people, because a lot of, okay, the resistance that I've gotten when I speak to DJs one on one, and we're talking about, okay, well, well, maybe you could do this. Oh, but so and so does that, and this one over here does that, and they do this over there, and I'm like, sugar, when you go to the grocery store, okay, and you walk down the bread aisle, is there one brand of bread, or do you see a plethora of breads?
I
Okay, you
I
don't.
hear you.
There's not just Wonder Bread. You
Right.
got Entenmann's. You got Sunbeam. Like there's a bunch of bread, and
Mhm.
no one bread is alike.
Right.
So
Right.
you do what you do. Now Tyrone may be doing it, okay, but he's not going to do it the way I do it. Like we're individuals. We can do the same
Of
thing.
course.
So
DNA is different.
you know what I mean? So what's the problem? Just do it. You know
Right.
what I mean? You'll find your clique. You'll find your tribe. They will come to you. You don't have to worry about it.
That's true. You're right about that. The question I want to ask you is people that's actually want to get into broadcasting, DJing, or things that want to take their craft into a whole different aura. What would you actually say to them?
I would say first and foremost, stations like my station, I think, are easy to come to because we are also a learning institution. WHCR 90.3 FM, the voice of Harlem. We are the community station, but we are owned and operated by the City College of New York. We're not the student station. We are community radio. And it's pretty much like Manhattan Neighborhood Network and BronxNet. We cater to the community. So you submit an application. Uh, Once you're interviewed, if you get accepted, you will be trained because, as far as WHCR is concerned, I will train you how to use the equipment. And a lot of the do's and don'ts of radio, and you can get in. But instead of waiting, or while you're waiting, do your own things. Do a podcast from home, like live stream. Regularly. Consistency is a thing.
Right.
In live stream, there's so many different platforms today, especially since the pandemic, that you could get on. Just do a live stream and start building your audience, and then when that door opens up, you can drag your audience to where you're going.
That's cool.
So just do something and do it consistently.
Um, any current events that you want to leak out to the viewers before we close the show?
Absolutely. So, not this Friday, but next Friday, February the 21st, I, along with DJ Black Icon One and my other co-host, Indie House Party, we do a show in Harlem at WHCR called House in Harlem Radio. And we are celebrating 12 years of being on the radio on February the 21st. And we're doing a mini marathon. And those of you who know, we usually do marathons like 30 hours. And so,
Yeah, I know.
so this time, listen, since my heart operations, I can't stay up that long. So
Right.
but we're doing a mini marathon, one to celebrate our 12th year anniversary, bringing house music, and also to celebrate DJ Black Icon One's birthday, because it's also his birthday. Um, Having a show on WHCR, it's not one of those shows where you pay for your airtime. However, you do have to fundraise. If you don't fundraise, you can be canceled, because we are listener supported station. So we're gonna do. Oh man, we're gonna do a live broadcast. We'll have in studio guests. We can't call it a party, so it's gonna be in studio guests. But we have some of the bestest DJs that are gonna be on, starting at 6 p.m. on Friday, going into Saturday to 8 a.m. So it's really, truly house music all night long.
Okay. I want to shout out to my girl Indy. I love her so much.
Yes.
She's the one that actually got me to come up
Hmm.
to the station. She invited me, and this was like years ago. And
Hmm.
she's been friend with me. I know that she had a little conniption in her life, and I hope that I'm glad that she got a whole lot better with it. And of course, I'm gonna still leave those voicemails, girl.
I
But
told her, yeah,
Tina,
her work
it
schedule is different. So yeah,
yeah,
she's probably sleeping now. Oh no, she's probably heading to work now. So,
okay,
but she's doing well. She's doing well, and it's such a joy working with her on the station. And I've been pushing her as well
right,
to DJ more. She's been DJing.
all right, that's cool.
Well, now, since she's been, the work schedule the last 2-3 months have been a little crazy, but we are happy that we debuted like her first 3 mixes. And I just have to say, whatever the it thing is, when you hear DJ, she has it.
And
And
that's cool.
that's all
Well,
I'm
you
saying.
it's been a pleasure, and I mean a pleasure to have you on my show to be
Thank you.
informative to the viewers and things like that. So now that you've been on the other side, you can transform into the other side now. You know what I'm saying? And you know, uh, of course, another extended invitation. Of course,
Oh,
I will be hitting you up
thank
maybe next year or whatever. But we got to do this again to keep the viewers alive.
you. Absolutely. And I
And this has been another Tilo video production, guys. And you guys stay tuned for another episode.
It's not just mine. It's not just mine. His or her. It's not just mine. His or her house. This is our house.